What's good, YouTube viewers? This is Mac once again, and in this video I will be covering the basic aspects of healing. Now I know most of you think, oh, healing is for girls. Wrong. Healing takes a very focused and calmed mind. Have you ever seen a female gamer? They are vicious and actually make good tanks. I even have trouble with the focus aspect since I suffer from ADHD. Ooh, look, a squirrel. Oh, yeah, healing. First thing to keep in mind is position. Where you stand can make a big impact on any fight. Some heals can be directional, so keeping allies in front of you is beneficial. This can also help with your line of sight, since people tend to enjoy running around like 5-year-olds with candy. Careful placement of your character can help you keep everyone in your sights. This also coincides with the risks of being at range. In dungeons and raids, some enemies use abilities that target the furthest player, so you really don't want to get hit by this stuff. And in PvP, being far away could put you at risk for a rogue attack. If you do heal at range, use a technique called bush healing to stand in a safe place that enemies have trouble seeing or reaching. But as a battle healer, you're right in the middle of the action, where you're more likely to blend in and have more people around who are likely to help. Also, remember to use your area of effect heals strategically. Use them to indicate where you want the fight to be, as it can help to make a safe spot. Next, I'll cover focus healing. In raids and dungeons, it's the tank, but in battlegrounds, it can be the flag carrier, or you can pick a bodyguard. Your bodyguard can be any class that enemies typically want to avoid, or another healer. Everyone hates hunters, so pairing with one might just bring you more attention. But no matter the situation, consider all fights as if it's you and your focus against the world, and that no one is more important than your focus, not even you. When your death is imminent, healing yourself could just end up being a waste of time. Instead, use your last moments to place a quick buff on your focus, like a heal over time or damage mitigator. Focus healing also ties into mana management. When you have to cut back on heals to conserve mana for your focus, consider this sacrificial priority. I like to consider health bars like gas tanks. 2/3 is okay. AoE standards for dungeons and raids, soloers for PvP. If anyone in your group is standing in something that makes them take unnecessary damage, let the moron die. Just like if you see anyone fighting away from a PvP objective, then let the moron die. If you need to cut back any more on healing, then stop casting at people who can heal for themselves. It's not a hard concept to grasp, so let's move on to low DPS. Those with a low damage output are far less useful than those with high damage output for more obvious reasons. And of course, if someone runs out of range of your healing, don't chase them. The focus needs to move at your pace, and anyone else who runs off is obviously not smart. Continuing with mana management, spirit is a rare commodity now. In order to counter this, you can substitute with crit or multi-strike to increase your output. Some healing classes even gain some extra benefits from this, so you should read all the skills in your spellbook closely to see what will help you the most. But for all classes that heal, there are a few general rules that they tend to have in common. 1. Usually, longer cast times are on cheaper and stronger heals. And 2. Area of effect heals, heals over time, and auto heals like totems and summoned assistants should be kept up to help give you less to worry about. And finally, self-defense and crowd control. In PvP, it's pretty obvious that you'll have to defend yourself a lot, but in PvE, not all tanks are good at holding aggro, and most of them love to pull like,
let's do this, Leroy Dragons!
So try to look for chances to use interrupts on enemy casters or a lasting CC on the ranged ones that the tank will not break. When a group is attacking you, run straight to the tank before using your roots and snares so they can gain aggro with their AoE effects. Crowd control was unnecessary in the MOP expansion, but the difficulty has been raised back up. Use crowd control, CC, as often as possible and on the right targets so that life as a healer isn't so hectic. In PvP, you'll need to look out for spell locks. Instant heals are not only a bit weak, but are generally expensive. Use skills such as snap healing and juking. Juking is a skill used in PvP. It is done by casting a spell and moving partway through to interrupt yourself, in an effort to make an enemy waste their interrupt and allow you to cast freely. It's a gamble, but when it works, you'll be able to heal freely without any worry for a while. Snap healing is used by weaving slow and fast heals together. It is both a juke and an instant cast heal, or a quick cast heal to confuse your enemy. Dispels reduce damage over time effects, but some have penalties in PvP. While suffering a rogue attack, it is wise to juke the interrupt, but you will need to be zoomed in closely to see the kick animation. As a priest or shaman, I prefer casting a series of non-healing spells and stick to instant casts until the kick is wasted, leaving me to free cast heals. The best thing that you can do is to stay calm while under pressure. But when suffering the initial burst of an attacker, it is wise to identify the type of enemy you are fighting and exploit the weakness. For example, a rogue that uses Killing Spree or Death from Above has a long animation sequence, which you should stand still and heal through. Save your crowd control break for the long kidney shot, and wait until their energy is low before using a snare or root effect. Fighting back is not a common occurrence when someone attacks a healer, so this will often catch them off guard. But if that is not an option, try instead to hug a particularly ruthless ally or stand in damage they don't want to be in. Thank you very much for watching my healing tutorial. I hope this helped. Please comment, like, subscribe, message me, and as always, any of my macros are available upon request. See you on the battlefield. What's going on, YouTubers? This is Mac once again. I'd like to thank you for watching my videos. I do hope that they have been helping you to improve your game. Right now, I would like to ask if there are any viewers out there who would like to have their music featured on one of my future videos. All you have to do is email me right about here as to what your track is. Send your track to me. As long as it's an instrumental, doesn't matter what genre it is, I might feature it in one of my future videos. See you out there on the battlefield.